Hi, I'm Hazel. It's Saturday again, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I've been up to, and answer some of your questions. This week, we got a release date for patch 9.0.5, and it is coming with this upcoming reset. So March the 9th for North America, March 10th for EU, and March 11th for Asia, with this week's weekly maintenance patch 9.5 is going to be in place. This is not to be confused with patch 9.1, which is the big Chains of Domination, new raid, new zone, all that good stuff. That's not what this is. Patch 9.0.5 is tuning, bug fixes, and Valor Points for the most part. There are full patch notes available, and I will link those below in case you want to scroll through and look for what is changing for your class, because there are a lot of class-specific changes, lots of tuning to go through there, so that is linked. In this video, I want to recap the big things that are coming in 9.0.5 this week. So first up is the addition of Valor Points, which is a new old currency that we're going to use to upgrade our Mythic Plus gear to an initial cap of item level 220. There's a couple of notes to keep in mind with this. One of them is that you will only be able to upgrade gear that you loot after the patch, so you do not need to hoard anything that you are already wearing or that has already dropped for you. You will only be able to use Valor Points to upgrade Mythic Plus gear that you get after the patch, and that does not include the first week of cache loot. So the cache that you open with this upcoming reset, that Mythic Plus loot cannot be upgraded. All future caches after that point will be upgradable, but this very first one, because it's determined by dungeons we did before the patch, that loot, along with anything else that you might already have, will not be upgradable with Valor Points. Another thing, the cap is going to be initially set to 5,000 and then will increase by 750 per week. Because this currency is being implemented kind of mid-tier, they wanted to raise the initial cap to reflect that, to give us kind of a head start. And the upgrade levels will cap, at least for now, at item level 220. So if you already have better than 220 Mythic Plus gear from the vault, for example, then Valor will not be all that consequential to you. If that's the case, you can always spend your extra Valor at the new Valor vendor on materials, such as Lightless Silk, that you can then sell to help fund your Mythic Plus habit. Other things coming in 9.05, the Wandering Ancient mount that we voted on last year and that was shown off during BlizzCon Line is going to become available. This one is free. You are not going to have to do anything special or difficult to get this aside from login. My guess is that it is going to either be added to our mount collections directly or appear through the launcher to claim. Also in 9.05, they are adding an additional source of Anima. The way that works is if you are capped on redeemed souls, the souls that you rescue from the maw every week, there's a cap of 100, and if you hit that, the next week when you go to capture more souls, or bring them back, then you are going to get 500 Anima instead for that weekly quest instead of additional souls that would just kind of evaporate because you are capped, because you did not build any more buildings because you were probably low on Anima. So 500 Anima a week instead of souls if you are capped on them. And then in the same vein, once you get to the renown cap of 40, the weekly quest to get 1,000 Anima is going to reward you with 1,500 gold instead of renown. A less popular change that they are making in 9.05 is reverting the Keystone model to BFA in terms of what Keystone you start with every week. Other things going on this week, the Alliance Hall of Fame for Castle Nathria is now complete, which means that Cross-Realm Mythic is now open for Castle Nathria with this upcoming reset. And I think the amount of time that passed between Horde filling their Hall of Fame and Alliance filling theirs is another good data point to throw onto the pile of reasons why they should maybe consider allowing cross-faction play in endgame content. In my life this week, I have been doing lots and lots of Mythic Plus keys. More this week and then the end of last week than I've probably done in my entire life. Because I want Keystone Master, and this week in particular, the one that is almost over as you see this, has been very good for pushing keys and for completing 15s in time. I started out with only one 15 done in time that I had done just last weekend, and at this point I only need 2 more to finish my achievement, so I'm hoping to get that done. They've been really fun. It's been going really well for the most part, until it doesn't, but I've been putting in the time and I feel like I'm getting a little bit better. I set myself up with the Flash Concentration Legendary for Holy Priest, and then I got a weak aura and I tweaked it to make it meow at me when there's 5 seconds before my stacks fall off to help me not drop my stacks so much, and that's been really good. I am really looking forward to eventually whatever comes after the Prideful affix in 9.1. It's not going to be for a while. Prideful is cool, and it's not one of the worst affixes they've ever done, but it does make root adjustments really punishing. Like if you accidentally pull a mob or you decide that you want to switch something up a little bit, it just like offsets the Pridefuls for the entire run, and when people aren't prepared for them, it can get very ugly. So it'll be interesting to see what they do next for Chains of Domination, but we're not going to find that out for a while, I don't think. And also in my life this week, I announced a sponsorship that we've been working on for a little bit. I am excited to be partnered with NZXT, and you'll be hearing more about them from me in later videos and streams. And questions for this week, Sherbaka asks, will 905 mean the end of Mythic Plus season? Do I need to get the Keystone Master Mount ASAP? I was kind of stressed when it came so close out of the blue. No, you have time. We have time. 9.0.5 does not indicate the end of the season. That is coming in patch 9.1. We don't know when 9.1 is, but most guesses put it at least a couple of months away, and generally speaking, they do give a heads up of like at least a week, usually, if not 2, before patch launches, so people can finish up their end of season activities for PvP and Mythic Plus, so you have time. And Lucky wants to know, what is your opinion on Raider IO? So this one is a little bit spicy, a little controversial. I don't mind Raider IO because at the end of the day, it is an objective metric of your experience. This is something that's been a part of WoW for a very long time. Before Raider IO, you had item level, and well before that, you had gear score, and I'm probably missing a couple steps in between. But when a pug leader is looking to put together a group, they need to quickly evaluate all the applicants, and especially lately, there are a lot of applicants. And as the pug leader, it's their job to try to put together the group that they think has the best chance of success. And Raider IO is just one metric that will show experience, which is kind of the best info that we have to determine that chance. Without Raider IO, you would just have people using Armory, which would get you to the same conclusion but take longer. Or heaven forbid somebody made a new tool that like scraped logs so that you would need to be A, publicly logging, and B, have to hope the score takes into account things like mechanics and stuns and interrupts, because not throughput doesn't always equal good play, although it certainly helps. If someone is struggling to get into groups, the usual suggestions are to either try to build their own key and create your own group, in which case you're the one accepting or declining applicants, or looking for like-minded people either in communities or in guilds, or just, asking around for anybody else that wants to work on their IO or just run keys without any regard for it. Because it's only for pugging, right? Like if you get 4 other people and you go into a dungeon, it's not going to kick you out because your score's not high enough. That is a social metric. If you can get your foot in the door with low keys or even with your own key, a lot of people find success by adding battle tags and asking around through the people that they liked playing with from good groups. And then eventually, if you can build up a little bit of a friends list, which is easier said than done, but it can be done, you can get to that point where you don't need to pug anymore, and then your IO doesn't become as relevant. And it will also incidentally improve as you guys push keys. And that has been my week. Thank you very much for watching. If you have a question that you would like me to answer in a news video, please leave it in the comments and include the word question. I hope that the 905 tuning changes are kind to you and that you have a wonderful, wonderful day.